This is the new Mercedes SL class, and in case you're wondering, SL stands for Super Licht, which in English means super light, which might seem a bit inappropriate considering this car weighs almost 1.7 tonnes. Still, it is 100 kilograms lighter than its predecessor. That's because Mercedes has put the SL on a diet by this time building its body from aluminium. The roof, meanwhile, is actually constructed from even lighter magnesium. Mercedes has thrown absolutely loads of equipment at this car. You've got full leather interior with leather on the dash, you've got electrically operated seats which are really comfortable, and luxury climate control. There's the command online system as well, and that includes sat nav. You've got a hard drive in there. It's also got mobile phone connectivity, it's got iPod connectivity, and it's got internet connectivity. The car also comes with their new Magic Vision system, which is 160 jets of water come out of the windscreen wipers so you don't get a big spray at your windscreen, so you can always see where you're going. This car is so loaded with equipment that you don't really need to spend that much on options, but one option I would recommend is the Magic Sky roof, which blanks out the glass roof when you press this button. You can get the SL with lowered sport suspension for improved handling, and incidentally this car has that, or you can get active air suspension, but really you don't need to bother with either of those because the standard setup is going to be fine for most people. And when you add in the excellent soundproofing, the super smooth automatic 7-speed gearbox, which incidentally you can change gears using these paddles, you've got a car that's very relaxing to drive, and it's just perfect for wafting about in. However, the SL can be exhilarating too, thanks to some cracking petrol engines, especially the 622 brake horsepower V12 and the SL65 AMG, which goes like a rocket ship. Thing is though, you don't really need all the performance because the V6 engine in this SL350 is quick enough. It can do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 5.9 seconds, yet it can return almost 38 miles per gallon, which sounds great to me. No, it really does sound great to me. Just have a listen. Of course, it's even better with the roof down, and you can raise or lower it in the time it takes me to finish this sentence. Well, almost. I tell you what, that's a bit more like it, isn't it? And you don't have to worry if the weather isn't quite as glorious as it is today, because when it's a bit chilly, you can always use Mercedes air scar system, which blows warm air from a vent in the headrest to keep you nice and toasty. And if you're a little bit worried about the wind blowing around and messing up your hairstyle, then you just use the automatic wind deflector. There you go, to keep you looking presentable. After all, you don't want to get out of a £70,000 car looking a mess, should you suddenly need to pop to the shops to get some vital provisions. And the good news is that the SL's boot has plenty of room for the weekly shop, and it's still surprisingly big enough when the roof is stowed. And then there's even more stowage in the cabin if you should need that too. Well, that's the SL's extensive list of good points dealt with, and now of course we need to talk about its negatives, and the chief one among them is the fact that it's not the most thrilling of sports cars to drive. If you want something that's really sharp, then a Porsche 911 Cabriolet is probably going to be a better bet for you. I mean, the main problem with the car is the fact that the controls feel a little bit numb, the brakes for instance a bit squidgy, but it's the steering which bothers me most of all, because I think the steering on some Super Minis have more feedback, and that's not a great thing, is it, to say about a GT car? Don't get me wrong, the SL is a fine handling car. It's just not as agile as it could be if it really was super licked. The biggest sticking point for me though is the design, because a GT car is supposed to ooze style, and this one looks a little bit so what? However, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and anyone who beholds the new SL will find that it has a great depth of ability, and overall it's the kind of car that makes you feel like you've made a success out of your life. Subscribe to the CarBuyer channel for our latest videos. Click here to see our reviews of other sports cars, and don't forget to rate, share, favourite and comment on this video.